What's up, my peoples? You are watching another episode of Mental Telepathy's Arena. And I am your host and lyrical genius, Black Titanium. I want to delve into today's show. As you know, the topics may vary, but I ask that you have patience with your brother, like I'm having patience with my brothers and sisters. I want to delve into this show about, talking about our youth. Yes, I'm going to talk about our youth. I know women be saying, damn, I'm tired of hearing this dude talk about the youth. But you have to understand what your future look like. And right now, not only what your future look like, but you have to understand the fact that the future of our black youth looks very bleak. Serious. Because as you know, there's a conspiracy of what we call the school to prison pipeline. You got and other type of pipelines that lead straight into the prison. And I know a lot of y'all don't understand when you talk about our regular black youth. So I'm going to bring about a subject of somebody that's a public figure. A few people that's a public figure, because what we got to understand is that we have a problem of mass incarceration of the black man and the black youth. Mainly the black youth. That's who the target really is, because at this age, my life has basically been determined. And so has a lot of other black grown people who are nothing but little children trapped in grown people's bodies. So this is why they really can't understand this. But I want to bring up an example. For example, let's talk about Kodak Black for a minute. Yes, Kodak Black. As you know, he caught a prison bid. Not a prison bid, but he's in jail now, locked down. And as I look on the internet, I see his mother, she's using his public figure as a tool. She's crying on the internet, my son disappeared. And what they don't understand is that when you're in, this is why I try to tell black women to discipline their children. To not to only discipline them, but you have to be able to understand psychology to be able to discipline your children. I'm not talking about beatings and stuff like that. No. I'm not talking about beating on your kid. I'm talking about we have to understand. This is why we have to understand psychology, to be able to play games and to shape and mold our youth's minds. But back to the essence of the conversation. Let's talk about Kodak Black for a minute. Because this is a very serious topic. Anytime, I don't wish jail on no man. I don't care what color they are. I don't jail nobody. To me, being in the cage is not for a human being. I don't wish it on nobody. So when I see our black youth, people like Kodak Black, and I see his mother crying, saying, "Oh, my son disappeared," because those white people, what they do, they not only incarcerate the black youth. When they incarcerate a young black boy, young black male, they also play with his family members. They play psychology games with the family member. And the mother and the rest of his family members have to understand how the system goes when you're in the feds, especially when you got a federal charge when a person is in the feds, let me tell you something. First of all, when a person goes to the feds, a lot of the niggas, they talk that gangster nonsense, but they ain't never been nowhere. I could tell the way these niggas act and the way these niggas snitch that they ain't never been nowhere. You feel me? So I'm gonna tell you, whenever you're in the feds, okay, you could be in the, say like Kodak Black. He's in the feds, but he's in a detention center right now, the federal detention center. Whenever you're in the feds and you go to court, say like it's your court date, right? It's your court date. You go out to court and you get dressed up, you go out to court, and boom, the judge say, okay, I'm gonna remand you. The next date is gonna be 30 days from now. So you say, okay, my next court date is 30 days. So now they take you back to the jailhouse. So then, as this is the way the feds operate, you get back to the jailhouse, right? The front desk, and they say, Kodak Black, Mr. Black, you're on a transfer. Let's go. This is the way the feds work. This is how they surprise niggas, because they always want you to be off balance, and they always want your family members to be off balance. So they'll tell Kodak Black, come on, you're on a transfer. You're going to Kentucky. Okay? Now, you're in Indiana, but they tell you, come on, we transferring you to a different part, different state. Okay? And then Kodak Black says, okay, let me go pack my stuff. Yesterday he went to commissary before he went to court. He went to commissary, bought a bunch of Snicker bars or whatever, cigarettes and stuff like that, and everything is in his locker, his clothes, his suits and all of that. So what he says, I need to pack. Then let me pack my stuff. They say no. No. You're not packing nothing. You're going as is. Yeah. They don't let you pack nothing. And most likely they'll do it that's how they surprise you. And that's how they surprise your family. And whenever you get mail from your family, they're not gonna give it straight to you. No, they're gonna do a background check on your family members. Oh yeah, whenever you get mail, before they know that you're the immediate family member, they're going to do a background check on that person that wrote that letter. True story. You may not even get the mail. If you're really high profile or really a public figure that they don't like, they won't even give you the mail. And then you might write your family member a letter, and they might not even send that out. Because if you write a person who never wrote you before, they'll take that name and they'll do a background check on that person. This is how the feds is thorough, and they got a mean game. So what you have to understand, see, I'm trying to give you some education, because a lot of these old niggas, they ain't teaching niggas nothing no more, and a lot of these niggas never been nowhere. They never been nowhere. You could tell the way they snitch, the way they operate in the street. These niggas never been nowhere. And they'll play gangster all day like they the hardest nigga on the block, but these niggas be at the plantation. You stand early in the morning, you'll see these niggas headed out to the plantation hugging the white man's nuts. But back to the essence of the conversation. They may not be sending your mail out, but whoever you write and whoever writes you, they're gonna do a background check on that person. And it may take you it could take you 2 weeks to get that mail, and it could take you 6 months to get that mail. This is what a lot of our black youth gotta understand, because if you ain't built for this, you're gonna crumble. You'll end up in the psychiatric unit, and they'll be feeding you medication. Real talk. I seen niggas fall apart. And the worst thing you can do The worst thing you can do is have a girlfriend in there. Come go to jail. I seen a lot of black these young niggas that was out on the street. They was out, they was out in the world. They was having sex with niggas' wives. They was having sex with niggas' girls. And then when they go to jail, the karma comes back around full circle. Real talk. The karma comes back around full circle. And I've seen many young boys cry and go crazy when they girl, because the modern day black woman and the modern day black girl, the digital age has made their mind lazy, first of all. So they ain't really writing no letters like that. And second of all, they only gonna stick with the nigga for somebody like Kodak Black girl, she gonna stick with him a little longer. She might give a nigga a couple of years to see if the nigga gonna get out. But a lot of these modern day chicks, they not even writing niggas no more. They not even coming, they not even doing that. Real talk. So the worst thing, I seen a lot of young boys in there get Dear John letters. We call them Dear John letters. And the girl write him, say, listen, I'm moving on. And that nigga end up going crazy. He end up in the satellite unit, the psychiatric unit, and he end up taking medication. Many of our young black youth, man. And this is why we gotta start teaching them, and we gotta teach the youth. You can't just let them go on through life thinking that they can't be touched. That's what happens. People like Kodak Black goes to jail. And he started crying about the COs are trying to kill me. Because when you're in solitary confinement, or when you're in that cell, as time gradually goes on, and as they keep transferring you from state to state to state, you get more depressed and more depressed, because you can't get to your family now. Your family can't come to visit you because you're in a different state. All of that. So it starts to mess with you, and you feel so depressed, especially when you're in solitary confinement. That destroys people's minds. So it actually, you start to develop something that we call in the pen, the penitentiary syndrome, where you start playing the blame game on everybody else. Ain't nobody coming to see me, man. When I get out, I ain't talking to nobody. Come on, man. Don't nobody owe you nothing. But what a lot of these young brothers don't realize that was out here doing what they wanted to do, especially somebody like Kodak Black, who had money to do many extracurricular activities and go out with many niggas' chicks and mess with many people's wives. But what they don't understand, when they go in there, they cry and cry and cry and cry. But what they don't understand is all the destruction that they left out in the streets. All the chicks that they left out that was pregnant. They gotta be single mothers now. All the niggas they don't hurt. All the dudes' wives and girls they done had sex with behind their back. Cause these niggas take pride in having sex with your girl. It's the sick, twisted, demented thinking. You know what I'm saying? So when they go in there, the karma comes back immediately. Because they don't understand all of the destruction that they left out in the world. Instead of reflecting on themselves, they don't understand. And young brothers like Kodak Black, their moms never gave them no discipline. The father was never there to give them no guidance. So basically coming up with due to the fact that he slipped through the cracks and he was able to make some money, he was he was in the gang, or niggas telling him he can't be touched. So when you go in there, you're gonna be a spoiled brat. But when the discipline that your mother don't give you, when the system get hold of those young brothers, they got a whole different type of discipline. They are on a whole different type of time. And the correction officers, trust me, it's their job to make you feel miserable. So if you ain't built for it and able to shake it off, you're going to go crazy in there. A lot of our young black brothers, when they go through there, yeah. And this is how they break. This is how they are breaking young black men. This is how they break you. So when these niggas when they come out of prison, they become house niggas, cowards, and all of that. I ain't going back. Yo, I ain't doing nothing. They become snitches and all of that. I got a brother, a biological brother, who did 30 years. Straight 30 years. That's a lifetime for some people. But he survived it. I never thought he would. Because who would think that you could who can see 30 years into the future? Nobody. So nobody ever thought he was getting out. But when he came out, he was just as ignorant and stupid as when he went in. This is what amazed me. But not only was he ignorant and stupid, every day that I talk to him on the phone, he always talking about my white friends is hooking me up, da da da. Because when he was in there, truth be told, a lot of these niggas, when they do that type of bid, 20, 30 years, 10 years, they start messing with homosexuals. My brother did it. Through the whole bid, they treat them homosexuals like their wives. Real talk. So when they come out here, they still institutionalized. That's why you see a lot of these niggas come out of prison. They be booty bandits and they be raping little boys and they still mess with homosexuals when they get out. My brother don't even talk to me no more because I tell him, you still messing with those homosexuals, man. Real talk. And I know he is, because the institutionalized mentality requires that they do it. No, but when they in there and they got 30 years, 25 years, they can't even see 30 years into the future. So they don't ever think that they gonna get out. So they get married to the gay dude in jail and all of that. I've seen it all. And no, I didn't get raped, and no nigga wasn't doing nothing to me because I was holding mine down. Trust me. But nevertheless, I've seen a lot of brothers come out from out of prison. They be booty bandits and everything, but they don't think that they're gay. They don't think that they're homosexuals. Real talk. They don't think that they're homosexuals at all. Just because they receive and they don't give, they give and they don't receive it from the back, and some of them do. No telling what my brother doing or what people like him are doing, because the institutionalized mentality, he's been broken. His mind, that it did something to his mind that there's nothing like penitentiary. It destroys the mind. And this is how they break the black man. By grinding them through the prison system. When a lot of these niggas come out, they be straight cowards. But they'll kill another black man. Don't get it twisted. That's what they trained for, to kill their own. But when it comes to the system right here, they straight bow down. A lot of them, I done seen it. I'm sure a lot of you have seen it. Serious. But back to I don't mean to jump off track, back to the essence of the conversation. Our youth, this is how they break in our youth in them, and they drive them crazy. And I done seen people go to prison with 1 to 3 years, 1 to 3, and end up doing 20. Yeah. Because they didn't know how to handle it. Because they didn't know, they end up stabbing somebody or whatever. Because that's a whole. And one thing about prison, you're not gonna be rehabilitated. You can't be rehabilitated if you was never habilitated. Okay, first of all, and when you go in there, when them young brothers go in there, they're gonna meet a lot of dudes that all they do is think on a criminal level. They think of many ways to do crime. They call them the criminally insane. And they get a hold of these young brothers and they start just making them even worse. And when they come out, you think no, they thinking on the no. It's either that, because when you go to prison now, they took all the schools out of prison. They took all the workshops out of prison. You don't get no more skills. Just like they took the industrial work out of the cities, out of the urban cities. They do the same thing in prison. In prison, you used to be able to go there and get a bachelor's, master's, or whatever. Now, nigga don't get no education. Real talk. And all they do is get free labor. The most you might get is about 19 cents a day. If you got a good job. That's called a good job in prison. A nigga that's making 19 cents, oh, he's balling. Real talk. He's balling. Ask anybody that know. See, but a lot of these niggas know. But what you have to do, you have to bring about awareness to our youth, man, because a lot of these niggas run around here. They run around, y'all got these young brothers. They run around and they thinking that, because they in the gang, they can't be touched. And when basically, because you got a lot of these niggas that's in protective custody. That's what I call it. A lot of these niggas are in protective custody. And if it wasn't for them being in protective custody, hiding behind a few real niggas that's in it, they would be exposed. Trust me, a lot of these niggas soon as they get to the police station, them niggas start turning Bloods, they start turning Crip, and when they get out, they take off that monkey suit and they put on another one. Or when they get in, they might turn Muslim. And when they get out, they take off that suit, and next thing you know, they Blood or they Crip. Yeah, I done seen it all, man. So these niggas who be thinking that they running game on me, that ain't nothing but a rerun, man. Old enough to be these niggas' fathers, and basically I done seen it. I done seen a bunch of that already. But the thing is, we have to concentrate on our youth, because the discipline that you don't give your children, when the system get a hold of your child, it's going to be on a whole different type of time. And the white man is going to say, listen, I don't care about none of your little temper tantrums. I don't care how tough you are, how tough you think you are. Oh, trust me, they got something for you. I'm not giving them too much credit. I don't want to give them too much credit because they grimy too. But I'm just talking about our youth. And then you're going to be forced to have patience. You're going to be forced to have discipline. You got 5-10 years, nigga. Ain't that only time you come out that cell, niggas, when they say you can go to breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or to the recreation yard. Real talk. And this is what you got to understand, man. This is what you have to understand. Because our youth are dropping like flies, man. And the black man's value on their lives is dirt cheap. The value on the black youth's lives are dirt cheap. And this is why we have to wake up, man. This is why we have to wake up. Because everybody know about the conspiracy of the mass incarceration of black people, but nobody is teaching our youth how to maneuver around it. Because they ain't having that, they don't have that guidance. But just because he don't have a father, just because the young brother don't have a father, or the young sister don't have a father, that child belongs to the whole village, man. That child belongs to the whole village. So we basically, everybody's thinking on a level of self-preservation. Everybody's thinking on the level of self-preservation. This is why they can't think about nobody else's kids. And this is why a lot of these rapists and pedophile protective custody niggas get hold of your children. They take advantage. Because a lot of them be mad because their lives never went nowhere. So they don't want to see nobody go nowhere. This is what's bad about being in the gang. Because they don't want you to go nowhere until they rise and they put you up under their wing. A nigga get $1,000, you get $50. A nigga get $100,000, you get $100. That's how they do it. A nigga get $1 million, you might get $10,000. He might give you $10,000 and you did all the work. That's how a lot of it go, man. Real talk. So we have to grab hold of our youth and we have to teach them about things like this, man. Because a lot of the times when our youth go through that revolving door of recidivism, for the first time, what they do, how the white man play with them, he'll put them in a little medium facility, little detention center. And let them, and then a lot of them, he'll just let them have fun. He know they young, wild. He'll get him a homosexual who got titties, and they'll just take him in the back, and they could have sex with each other and all of that. It goes down, man. I'm serious. They know that, and the COs and the correction officers know that the homo got AIDS, and they'll still let the young brother hit it. Real talk. Real talk. This is why you have to, grab hold of our youth. Because when they come through them doors for the first time, they end up losing, if they're not ready, this is why they jump into gangs. Because that's their protective custody. And those are the people, those are the brothers who end up saving them. And they just they end up having fun. They be in a little medium facility for the first time. They let them have fun running around, the dormitory or whatever. And he end up getting out. And you know what happens when he gets out? He has such a good time the first time, he goes back the second time. It becomes his second home. Real talk. Because he know he gonna get visits, he know he gonna get commissary, and all of this. So this is what we have to understand, man. This is not a game. This is not a game. There's a target on the backs of our black youth. Even though the conspirators and the co-conspirators got it coming. Oh, trust me, they got it coming. We moving into a whole new different stage, and trust me, karma is about to come back and hit them. They got viruses. They got the coronavirus out now, and that's spreading like wildfire. Oh, trust me, y'all better get ready for martial law. Get ready to be on lockdown. They're not gonna force you to be locked down. They gonna, you know what's gonna happen? You gonna voluntarily want to be in the house. You ain't gonna want to catch that. This is why they spreading it. This is why they spreading it from country to country. They doing it on purpose on purpose of population control. For the purpose of population control. Serious. People think that China invented that disease. No, America did that. They did that as an act of biochemical warfare against China. They said, no, we don't have to go to war with them and shoot off missiles. No, we'll send something over there that's way deadlier and deadly and silent. Deadly and silent. Because the worst type of war you could ever fight is a war where you cannot see your enemies. Real talk. But a lot of the things that America does, what you got to realize, it end up coming back around to them full circle, man. They've never been able to put out a drug without it affecting their youth. They've never been able to put out pills or heroin or fentanyl or opioids without it hitting the white people. And that's what it's doing right now. It's destroying white men. Yeah. because karma is universal law and absolutely nobody gets around it. And that's just a little food for thought. And with that being said, never fear the one who can lead you to the hellfire, but fear the one who can put you in it and leave you there. And and be careful what type of media you listen to, whether it's the news, whether it's social media, or just somebody whispering in your ear, because it could have you hating the oppressed and loving those who are doing the oppressing. And with that being said, you have watched another episode of Mental Telepathy's Arena. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. I know a lot of these haters ain't gonna hit it. All they gonna do is try to bite my information, and you'll hear these niggas talking about it the next day. Yeah. But with that being said, I'm your host and lyrical genius, Black Titanium. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your time. And thank you for viewing this video. Because all I want to do is, if I could just touch one of our youth, I've done my job. Peace. I'm out.